Alright guys, I'm starting my day off with 2 pieces of toasted bread. This bread might look a little different. It's actually a German brand I found in the international aisle. And the ingredient list is really short and good. And the bread is nice and thin, which I like, but really dense. And I'm using a bean spread I made out of a garbanzo beans. I'll put the recipe below. I just added a bunch of herbs to a blender with the beans and blended it together. I like putting it on toast and sandwiches or dipping vegetables in it. Adding just a little bit of salt to the top of it for taste and black pepper, and then I'll top it off with some red pepper flakes for a little bit of a kick. And I decided to pair a grapefruit with my breakfast. After eating my toast, honestly, I got really full. I got about 2 bites of my grapefruit in before I called it quits, so I'm saving the rest of my grapefruit for a snack later on. During the day, I like to sip on some kombucha when I'm not drinking water. Lately, because of the quarantine, I decided to start making my own kombucha. So I've been experimenting with flavors and then reusing the bottles that I actually have bought from the store. If you don't already know about kombucha, it's a really good probiotic drink, really good for your gut health. The flavor I did was mango juice and little bits of ginger. And here is my partial eaten grapefruit from breakfast that I saved for a snack later on when I got a little bit hungry. And for lunch, I'm just chopping up half of this orange bell pepper, cleaning out the seeds on the inside, and then just chopping it into bite-sized pieces. And I'm chopping up about 1/4 of an avocado, and I try to limit my intake of plant fats and oils. I don't use any oils, you might have noticed along the way. And that is because what I've learned is that the fat you eat is the fat you wear. So cutting heavily back on that has really helped me in my weight loss journey. Although I'm limiting the amount of fats that I eat, I do occasionally indulge in an avocado, about 1/4 of it, or I'll use tahini or nuts in like a salad dressing. And here I'm just adding several scoops of white rice that I make on the daily. Steaming up some kale, I added a little bit of water to the bottom, threw some kale in there, and topped it off with some coconut aminos, and I'm just going to steam that until it's tender. Along with all the veggies I prepared, I'm adding some shredded carrots. I always usually keep a bag of that in my fridge, and then also some vegan kimchi. If you're ever wondering what the heck we use to season our food with, being a whole food plant-based vegan, basically go to the international aisle, and a lot of the seasonings you'll see with the Asian aisle and with even the Hispanic aisle too, there are a ton of spices to use. So I use some Thai green curry and then also some more coconut aminos to flavor my dish. For dinner, I had this miscellaneous vegetables just chilling in my fridge. So I have half of a yellow onion, half of a red onion, half of a orange bell pepper from earlier today, and half of a red pepper. So I'm just using them all up before they go bad. So instead of using oil in my pan, I just put a little bit of vegetable stock in there, and I'll be putting my onions in first to get them caramelized. Set the stove to about medium just to get them nice and tender without burning them. Mincing up some garlic. I actually saw this new technique online where you smack the garlic several times with a knife and the peelings just come right off. As you can see, they did. I was pretty amazed, and it was also pretty satisfying to do. Tossing the veggies around just so they don't stick at all, making sure that there's enough liquid in there, and then I'm going to be steaming the rest of them. And then chopping up my lettuce. I like to chop my lettuce pretty thin when I'm doing more like a fajita style dinner. It just makes it so much crunchier. When my veggies are nice and softened, I'm adding in half a bag of frozen corn and then also half a bag of rice cauliflower. Adding in some ground cumin. I don't really measure, just kind of eyeball it. In my opinion, more is less. Some chili powder as well, just kind of eyeballing it. These are always staples in my spice cabinet. And then red pepper flakes to add a little bit of spiciness. And if you want to get that taste, that flavor you get from grilling, add some liquid smoke to it. Liquid smoke to anything just makes it taste like it just came right off the grill. Adding a scoop of brown rice. I had to make some new rice because I ran out of the white version. So brown rice it is, which is better for you anyways. And I'm just building up my little fajita bowl. And I also heated up some already pre-made black refried beans that I made. I usually make those in bulk, and then I just scoop some out whenever I need it. Some salsa to my rice makes everything so good. And you may notice I don't cook with salt, and that's because it really is unnecessary. Really just topping off your food really is the best way to do it, because that's what hits your taste buds first. When you cook with salt, it really doesn't serve much purpose because it kind of cooks off the flavor of the salt, but the sodium is still there. So I really just top off my food with it. And here I'm adding some of that romaine lettuce I chopped up earlier and topping also some more flavor with some lime juice.